Imagine a dam so tall it was hailed as an engineering marvel, a symbol of progress and human ingenuity. But one October night in 1963, that very masterpiece turned into a weapon of death, wiping out entire villages within minutes. This is the story of the Vajont Dam Disaster. The nightman's ambition clashed with nature's wrath, and nearly 2,000 souls paid the price. In the rugged Italian Alps, nestled between steep limestone cliffs, rose the Vajont Dam. At 262 meters tall, it was one of the highest dams in the world, a towering wall of concrete designed to tame the Vajont River and supply hydroelectric power to fuel post-war Italy's booming economy. To the engineers, it was a triumph. To the politicians, it was progress. But to the locals in the Piave Valley below, it was something else entirely, an uneasy giant, looming over their homes, casting shadows not just of stone but of fear. Even before the dam's completion in 1960, whispers of danger filled the valley. Geologists noticed the steep mountainsides surrounding the reservoir were unstable, especially Mount Toc. Its very name in the local dialect meant rotten. Landslides had scarred its surface for centuries, and yet warnings were brushed aside, reports were softened, evidence was minimized. The dam was too valuable, too prestigious to halt. When the reservoir was filled, cracks appeared in the slopes. Minor landslides slipped into the water, sending ripples across the dam's surface. Villagers complained of strange tremors, walls vibrating and hillsides groaning, but the officials insisted it was all under control. At 10:39 p.m., the inevitable happened. A section of Mount Toc, 260 million cubic meters of rock and earth, broke free. It thundered down into the reservoir at terrifying speed, displacing the water like a colossal hand plunging into a bowl. In less than a minute, a wave 250 meters high rose and leapt over the dam's crest. Though the dam itself held firm, the water had nowhere to go but forward. It roared down the narrow valley like a monster unleashed. Within seconds, the villages of Longarone, Pirago, Rivalta, and others were obliterated. Houses were crushed like paper. Families asleep in their beds were swept away without warning. Survivors described the sound not as water but as a scream, a roar that shook the earth itself. In just 7 minutes, nearly 2,000 lives were erased. When dawn broke, what remained of Longarone was unrecognizable. Where there had once been streets, churches, and schools, now lay a wasteland of mud, debris, and silence. Bodies were buried deep beneath layers of silt. Families were torn apart forever. And yet there stood the Vajont Dam itself, scarred, but intact. A chilling symbol of irony. The dam had not failed, the people had been failed. Investigations would later reveal the truth. Warnings had been ignored, science had been silenced, and profits had been prioritized over lives. The disaster wasn't natural, it was man-made, a tragedy born from arrogance, negligence, and greed. Today, the Vajont Dam still stands, but it generates no power. Instead, it serves as a silent monument, a reminder of what happens when human ambition blinds us to the warnings of nature. The lesson is clear. We may build walls to control rivers, but we can never silence the mountains. If this story moved you, don't let it vanish into the shadows of history. Subscribe to Story District, where we uncover the forgotten tragedies, mysteries, and untold stories of our world. Because only by remembering the past can we hope to prevent history from repeating itself.